Welcome to the Holy Bible Study with Shelby. Today, Genesis chapter 29, Jacob meets Rachel. Before we get started, hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you know when I drop a video. Sharing the Word of God is not doing me no favor. Okay? You're doing the will of God. If you like this subject and you see some truth in it, then you should be sharing it. You should be encouraging people to subscribe and check out this channel. I try to keep the Bible simplified where a 12-year-old can understand it. Okay? With that said, have your King James Version Bible, pen, paper, and patience. And with all my videos, I play the audio for 5 or 6 minutes. And at the end, I summarize it. So, with that said, Genesis chapter 29, let's get started.
Genesis 29. Then Jacob went on his journey, and came into the land of the people of the east. And he looked, and behold, a well in the field, and lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. For out of that well they watered the flocks, and a great stone was upon the well's mouth. And thither were all the flocks gathered. And they rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in his place. And Jacob said unto them, My brethren, whence be ye? And they said, Of Haran are we. And he said unto them, Know ye Laban the son of Nahor? And they said, We know him. And he said unto them, Is he well? And they said, He is well. And behold, Rachel his daughter cometh with the sheep. And he said, Lo, it is yet high day, neither is it time that the cattle should be gathered together. Water ye the sheep, and go and feed them. And they said, We cannot until all the flocks be gathered together, until they roll the stone from the well's mouth. Then we water the sheep. And while he yet spake with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel the daughter of Laban his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban his mother's brother, that Jacob went near, and rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the flock of Laban his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel, and lifted up his voice and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob his sister's son, that he ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, Surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob, Because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel, and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel thy younger daughter. And Laban said, It is better that I give her to thee, than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel. And they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had to her. And Jacob said unto Laban, Give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place, and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening, that he took Leah his daughter, and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for an handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, What is this thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? And Laban said, It must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years. And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah his handmaid to be her maid. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb. But Rachel was barren, and Leah conceived and bare a son. And she called his name Reuben, for she said, Surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction, now therefore my husband will love me. And she conceived again, and bare a son, and said, Because the Lord hath heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. And she conceived again, and bare a son, and said, Now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. And she conceived again, and bare a son, and she said, Now will I praise the Lord. Therefore she called his name Judah, and left bearing.
Okay. So let's go back and summarize it now. Jacob meets Rachel. That's the whole deal. Okay. Now, this Laban guy, which was Rebecca's brother, he was kind of like he didn't play with a full deck. What I'm trying to say is he had like an ace up his sleeve when dealing with Jacob. He was kind of like more like a con person, you know. He saw that Jacob had wealth, and so he was going to. He had some things going on in the back of his mind, because we're going to see, as you just read and heard, that he kind of deceived Jacob with these 2 sisters. Okay. But let's back up to verse 6 right quick, and I'm going to start there. I'm going to read it. And he said unto them, Is he well? And they said, He is well. But behold, Rachel, his daughter, cometh with the sheep. So Rachel, you know, of course, is the youngest. Let's drop down to verse 9 right quick. And while yet spake with them, Rachel came with her father sheep, for she kept them. 10. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his brother, and the sheep of Laban, his brother, that Jacob went near, and rolled a stone from the well mouth, and watered a flock of Laban's, his brother. 11. And Jacob kissed Rachel, and lifted up his voice and wept. You know, she must have been, you know, somehow very innocent, very beautiful to look at, inspirational, for him just to break out and wept, cry. He must have knew in his heart that she was the one for him. Okay. Now, let's drop 13, because this is where I'm trying to tell you. This Laban guy, he didn't play with a full deck. He kept an ace up his sleeve. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him to his house, and told Laban all these things. See, it's the tiding part. He's seen the wealth that Jacob possessed it. Okay? So, let's see here. Now, Jacob was wanting Rachel for his wife, but Laban said no. You know, you got to work for me for 7 years to have her. Okay, that's what you read. So Jacob agreed to that. After that 7 years over with, Laban said, okay. Jacob came and said, okay, I'm ready for my wife, Rachel. He said, okay, let's pretty much have a party and celebrate everything. But Jacob must have had too much to drink, obviously, because when it was time for him to go into the tent with Rachel, Laban tricked him by giving his daughter Leah. Okay? And let's go to 17 right quick about Leah. And Leah was tender-eyed. Tender-eyed mean that, maybe you've seen people's eyes kind of half closed. That's probably what that referencing. But Rachel was beautiful and fair. So, but don't say that Rachel was a bad-looking woman, but obvious Rachel was the better-looking one, okay? And, but Laban tricked him by putting Leah in the tent instead of Rachel. And by him being, I want to say drunk, because obvious that's what it was, he slept with her. He woke up the next day and realized, hey, this is not Rachel. You tricked me. And then he telling him about the custom of how, hey, now this is how we run things here. The older sister is supposed to go first. Well, they should have told him that at first. That's why I'm telling you, he didn't play with a full deck. He pulled that A side on him. Okay? So then he told Jacob he had to work for him another 7 years for Rachel again. So he agreed to that. And then he wound up fulfilling that, and he finally was with Rachel. Okay? Rachel became his wife. 2. So Leah is the first one who started having the children of Israel. Because we read too where Leah gave a concubine, handmaid, and her name was Zilpah, and Rachel was gave one too. Let me see here. Rachel was gave. Bilhah was gave to Rachel. Okay, so all 4 of these women are going to have children of Israel. But Leah started off with first. She started off with Reuben, I believe. Yeah, okay, Reuben first, then Simeon, and then Levi, and then Judah. Now that's kind of remarkable that Leah, because through Judah, Christ would come through. First with David, that's the root, and then the Lord would come through this Judah lineage. And then we see the priests of the Levites came out of Leah too. Okay? You would think they would have came out of Rachel, since she was seemed to be the forerunner here that Jacob wanted to be with. But she's still going to have a son, which is going to be Joseph, as we'll get into later on down the line here. But he wound up working another 7 years after the fact, because as we read into the next chapter, we're going to see that these handmaids had children too. Zilpah and Bilhah. Okay? So that'll be in chapter 30 as we continue to run down these children from the women who had the children of Israel. With Leah running with 4 so far, which was Reuben, Levi, Simeon, and Judah. So he's been dealing with it for 21 years with this guy. Now it's time to go in the next chapter. And then we'll see what happened. But like I said, I try to keep this as simple, because as long as you go back and read it for yourself with a little bit of understanding and pray for wisdom, then you get a lot of understanding on your own. Because you don't have to believe me or no other man. Do your own homework. And like I said in the beginning of this video is, you're not doing me no favor by sharing this content and hitting the like button and subscribe and encourage people to watch if you find any truth in this, because we need to get this out there. We're doing the will of God when we share this word, okay? And with that said, have a nice day. Stay peaceful and safe. Until next time, thank you for your time.